But Dina only lost by 1,750 votes to Joe Heck, a year ago. And people did like her. She served in the legislature for 20 years, and she was somewhat effective in Washington. And, one of her biggest points of contention, at least in the Latino community, who they're both vying for, was over the DREAM Act, that she didn't co-sponsor it. But she has vehemently said, no, I supported it. I want to do as much as I can for Latinos. The maps for redistricting were just approved in the last couple of hours. So now we actually have a set, finite border for this district. This point of the Supreme Court's decision was that it upheld the voter law. 5 years ago, voters passed the Nevada Clean Indoor Air Act, and they said it was unconstitutional for that to be revoked, that the voters spoke, and that should be upheld. Bill Bowes had challenged it, saying, well, we advertise on our ashtrays, and so that's a violation of free speech. That's really taking some liberties with the law. They're going to have to come to some type of middle ground, because it seems like both sides are diametrically opposed and can't make up any ground in the middle on where they want this cut to fall and to extend, and they only have until the 31st.
Well, it is kind of debatable.
This is symbolic of even the Sharon Ingalls, Sue Loudon, the Senate primary race, and now. But the sad fact is, Nevada voters don't show up for primaries. So we sit here and debate this, and so many points are valid, and it's so interesting. And then we get to the general. It just seems like it becomes such boring races, for lack of a better term. To be honest, because it's all the punches have been pulled. And the school district they're saying, look, you're going to have to, if you want to keep all 1,000 jobs that the superintendent was threatening to have to lay off, if they couldn't come to an agreement, or if the judge sided with the union, that basically their issue is just no more raises, no step increases this year, and giving back the ones from last year. The teachers union says, look, we've had a lot of teachers spend a lot of time and money out of their own pockets on getting these education credits, getting their master's degree. They deserve to get their step increases. They deserve the raises that they had to forego last year. And obviously they don't want to see any teachers lose their jobs, but now it's up to this third-party arbiter, and the final judgment cannot be appealed. So whatever happens after this, now that we're in this process, it's over. There are so many states, even in the Midwest, very concerned about water. And we in the West tend to have that very isolated view that this is something that only affects us. Nevadans are mad because we've shipped water to Arizona and California, yet, and there was the bill to give more water to our neighboring states. And now we have this internal fight, and there are other states dealing with the same thing. And one thing that was particularly interesting in this enrollment data is the the transformation of students from public school to charter schools, which are still public, but there are so many more options now available than there were just 4 or 5 years ago. There are 18 charter schools now in Clark County. They're either state-sponsored or CCSD-sponsored.